else show up yet?
Say again?
Anyone else show up yet?
Just Tyler.
Okay.
These people know about.
Looks like an old building.
89. I mean, the first thing that I would see after that, and it's such a challenge.
Lots of pinned items.
And those might all be curtain walls. I see a lot of lines. This is always a bad sign.
In 3D?
Yep, 3D lines.
Oof.
Well, I mean, like I said, until someone flat out tells you, look, I'm going to punch you in the face if you use lines. See, what I'm curious about.
Ooh, the X-Sight, that DWG.
Well, and see, that's exactly the one I was looking for. I mean, what ends up happening in an architect's office, they want you to get something that has the surroundings. It's not the worst. Obviously, you could have purged the hatches out and done a little bit of stuff with it, but I've seen worse.
Yeah.
The project we're working on has 72 drawings linked into it in the architectural model. You know why?
Why?
You know why.
Because of the fire protection and the other stuff.
Nope. We're talking design level. Remember fire protection.
Oh. Revisions?
Nope. Kitchen services.
They use the hatch from AutoCAD to do that?
No, we're talking about two different things. I'm telling you that there's like 60 AutoCAD drawings in the architectural Revit model because kitchen equipment is drawn in CAD. So they link them in for every one of the restaurants.
I got you.
And then maybe the ceiling of the restaurant, maybe a couple other things. And unfortunately, we'll tell everybody what the hell the deal is with that AutoCAD link. What's the biggest bad thing about this AutoCAD link right here in your mind?
I'm drawing blanks at the moment.
What about if you link this architecture into what happened to Tyler? He left. He must have ditched us, which is good. Because you saw who I sent the invitation.
Tyler said he's driving, he said, I'm driving, not in my car.
Oh, so he'll be here a little bit. He'll be here a little bit late, which even lends itself better. So back to this AutoCAD drawing. What does no one tell you about if you link an AutoCAD or attach an AutoCAD drawing to your file?
You bring in the level names?
No. I mean, it's bad all the way around. You couldn't even miss the side of the barn with the shot because the side of the barn is that big. It's big because of the levels, because of the instances, because of how it slows your model down, because of the hatches, because of all that. But the biggest thing that no one tells you is when someone links your file into theirs, they'll never see that AutoCAD unless you know how to make an AutoCAD link show up in your file. Like, so let's say I'm referencing that Revit linking this into my plumbing file. What would I have to do to get an AutoCAD object to show up? What I'd have to do is I'd have to go VV. Oh, yeah, no, wrong computer. VV. I have to go out to
imported categories.
Imported category. No. I don't have any Revit links. I'd have to go to Revit links. Okay. Uh-huh. And I'd have to say that it's by a view that I know that AutoCAD link is turned on in that view.
And that's the only way.
And no one will ever tell you that. There's nowhere that's documented. But see, that's the kind of stuff that makes this job so unfun. And right now, I'll be honest, this job couldn't be more unfun. Is this
Yeah.
the second Sunday or the third Sunday that we've done this?
I feel like it's the second, but I
feel
think I missed one. I think I missed one. I think I missed last week, maybe.
I'm pretty sure this is the second, which means that really, I'll be honest, I'm going to wrap up next Sunday. And then I'm going to say I gave it a good old college try to do this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't want to force something that doesn't work. And I don't feel like drawing. So would you know what you've done wrong? The one thing that you let me down on, buddy?
What's that?
You didn't share your screen.
Oh, my bad. Dude, I'm no energy at all.
I'm in that same boat. I have no energy. I got no fucks to give. I am sick of it all. So let me, you know what I did? I did the same damn thing. I didn't share my screen with you. Why don't we share that one? All right. Maybe we'll throw us down here at the bottom if you don't mind. So first things first, I got to cover the fact that just so that you're in the same boat with me, that YouTube's telling me that we're live streaming. Nope. Yep, that's it. You can read that?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be nice if Paul or Jason joined this, because then we could quickly explain to them, yep, all the hoods are done. And all the hoods have ductwork to them. We did move that one piece of hood ductwork that had an elbow in it last week back. It was back in the back. Let's see. You got the ductwork file open? Well, thank you.
Sorry. Let me mute this a second. I've got something going on here.
All right. So as I was saying with the AutoCAD stuff, this is what I wanted to do was go over with everyone what it's like picking up a file from someone else.
I'm opening the duct now.
That's fine. That's fine. My thought was if we could talk about those couple duct things, then we could have this on recording and they could go watch it or they could do whatever the hell they want to do. But let me ask you a question. Do we have the hoods done? Yes. Do we have the dishwashers done? 1 out of 3.
All right. What does that mean? Done, modeled per the specs or whatever?
Modeled per the submittal so that it has the correct attachments. See, that was the part that blew the duct manufacturer away. Is he said he needed a couple weeks to get through the submittals in order to build that ductwork. And then I told him that we already built the submittals, built the Revit model to the submittals. At which case he said, well, I've never seen anyone do that before. Right? Because no one does it.
Correct.
But for the higher up people, you know, the ones who don't actually use BIM, but they know how to say BIM.
Yeah.
Do they think that everything's by the submittal, including the dishwashers and the hoods?
Well, I would assume that everyone at this point thinks they're all that way.
But yet they're not, right?
So not just for us. I wouldn't assume they're that way for anyone.
Well, you see what we were pulling up across the screen. Granted, that's about 4 years old, but still, people aren't doing what they think they're doing. Some people think other people are doing so much more. Did you get your file open?
It's still opening.
That's fine.
Something's up with my machine, man. My fan is spinning odd.
Well, there's Tyler.
Sorry about that.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I was driving back. I was a little off.
I don't know if you were listening to us at all,
I
but
heard a little bit about this building being like 80s or something. You said 80s, 90s.
it's not. It was 2019. It's gonna be
Okay.
it's gonna be one of the files that I give you because you see, if you want to do BIM and you don't want to work for the architect or the engineer, your first most important thing is going to be able to go into someone else's file and figure out what's going on. And I'm not going to lie to you. That is the most challenging thing there is to do. Okay. Have you ever bought a car and worked on a car that someone else was really wrench head and did a bunch of work to?
Yep, my Beamer.
And did you find the frustration that it's easy if you would have got a stock, a guy who never worked on his car? You're like, okay, well, Revit is even worse because there's so many other things you can do. And you know what happens when they put shoddy, Chinese parts on it. And then,
or when they reroute the heater cords and not have any coolant running to or from it at all.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Okay. So I want to cover a little bit about what's going on with the project. I want to look at these ductwork. So in the very back, Eric, in the back of house, we reran that duct. Yep, we reran it. So it's not over top of that tan color. So that it was a straight drop through. My question to you is, do we have any more square kitchen exhaust duct? Tyler, did you get a chance to watch Friday's video?
No, I did not. Not yet.
Well, that's your homework in order to make up for the stuff with the views. But Eric, why don't you just create us a schedule for ductwork?
I was just going to go to the 3D. You're right.
Create us a view, because that's sort of what we didn't cover too much was the schedules. So you're just going to go schedules and quantities. Pull it to your screen if you could. Oh, okay. It was just waiting. Just do duct. Yep. Give me the abbreviation. System abbreviation. S. There you go. Get me the size.
Oh,
fast. Hey, Misty. And give me the count. How about one more? How about the length?
Oh, sorry, I hit OK. I got it.
It's going to open it up. All right. First thing you can do is you can filter. I only want stuff that starts with KE.
Okay. What was the other one you wanted me to add?
Length.
Yeah, I should have stayed in there. I know.
You should have. You're exactly right. I mean, it didn't cost you that much. Doing equals. No, always doing equals, and then hit the arrow, and then you'll see all the ductwork that is in your. You with me?
Yep. But then we want to switch that, or we leave that as K or equals.
You see, well, go back to the where you did the roll down arrow. Nope, where the abbreviation was. What worries me is there's a bunch at the top that's that stuff. So we might be curious what that actually is. It's probably undefined. And if you said okay, you would see that's how many pieces of ductwork you got like that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Those pieces of ductwork you could really fix and put into the proper category if you wanted, but just go back and switch it to the KEs and then sort by size and itemize. Don't do all of them. Sorting. Do it by the size. and don't do the every instance, perfect, and say okay. All right, what you're going to see now is you're going to see every size of duct that you have, but you notice some of the lengths are blanked out. That's because you have multiple pieces and they're of multiple lengths. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
How do you make that? There's a little test for you so that it calculates the total length of all of those pieces. Exactly. Nope. Go to length and say where it says no calculation right below there. Right there. Calculate total. Now it's going to give you the total length so that you know you got 6 feet of 20-inch or 30-inch. I can't zoom. Always zoom that schedule to fill your screen because then everybody else on the thing can see it.
I forgot you could zoom the schedules. My bad.
Well, it's even more. So it's even more beneficial to us. So what I worry about is you can see we've got square, right? Right.
I'm guessing those are the connection points, though.
No, this is duct.
What's that?
This is duct.
I know,
So-
but we use a transition, and then there's a putt piece of. No.
You know what? That probably is one of the things that's in there. So why don't we say only if the length is greater than 4 inches, right? Because then we wouldn't be getting any of the pups.
I just wanted to see.
You were exactly
Yeah.
right. You were exactly right. And that's a good call by all means. But see, this can help us with our schedule so we're not chasing a bunch of square duct that's not actually in the system. Nope, not size, length. Can you do
Oh, you're
length?
right. You're right.
You can do length is greater than 6 inches. And that'll take a bunch of those weird sizes out. So I can see we've got some 12 by 6, some 14 by 12, some 16 by 4, and some 16 by 10. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to try to isolate those guys.
That was same thing. Just it's a longer.
Perfect.
So-
And chances are, if you go back to your duct schedule, you're going to see it. Maybe instead of 6 inches, we should have said 1 foot. But you know, no one's going to run a 1 foot piece of duct. We'll find the duct we're looking for. Yeah. See, you went with one that was 8 inches, but that's going to be one that's actually still drawn in there.
8. Oh, I got you. Yeah, this is 2 of them. So will it still do that for me? Or will the XX give me a huge screen? It's going to give me a big screen.
It might give you a big screen if they're really full of. Nope. You see, it's those 2 pieces right there.
Yeah, but this is the one that I did the switch on.
Nope, it's not. This is another one just like it that feeds a dishwasher that we do not have the submittals for.
Gotcha.
All right. So back to the email. Are all the hoods done? Yeah, the hoods are all done. Okay, for the ranges, for all the cooking equipment, not for the dishwashers. So that dishwasher, could you tell me what the kitchen exhaust fan is at the top? Tell me the mark on it. It's either KEF 17 or 15. We don't know.
17. The tag name is 15, but I'm pretty sure that the 17 is what gives us what we were looking for because it's on system. It's on system KE 17.
Yeah, but look at the family name. There's the family name and the tag name both say KEF 15.
I see that, but I've learned to ignore the family name because I've almost never matched up.
All right, I'm just saying. We could easily say KEF 17 serves a piece of equipment that we don't know about, so therefore it can't be built in the model the way that it's supposed to, number one. Number two, Jason wants to run that thing as round duct. Okay? I'm assuming. Because he said there was, now he's saying there's no, and we were actually looking at this. This was the one that you were going to attempt to do and you just didn't ever get to. Okay, so find me the other one. That's the 14 by 12. That's probably it.
Oh yeah, that's all those.
That's all the tail of it.
Yep.
And some other stuff somewhere else. Do an isolate if you still got them selected, and you do. That's just some transitions. It just so happens that they're the same size going into that piece of equipment.
Do you want me to shrink that, lower those so that they don't show up for the putt piece? It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's what they're going to fabricate. Yep, there's one piece of that. Let's see if we can find where it is. Let's see if it's part of the one that we were just looking at.
Yep, it was the vertical
right.
piece.
Is there any more?
Nope, everything else has a diameter.
So we only have KF 17 or 15, whichever his proper name is. We need to know what the dishwasher's connection points are from the Cemento so that we can build them. Or we can tell Vortex that they need to fabricate it that way. And Jason, unfortunately, Jason didn't join. He didn't join Friday or Sunday. So the best I can do is try to get that answer from him in the morning. But if you remember, we were going to take a stab at redesigning that. That was where I told you.
Yep, no, I intended to. I didn't get off the plumbing yet. That's all.
No, that's fine. And then the next one is that question that was in the email was really asking for drawings is what it was. So the irony of it is, Tyler, this is the problem. If you put it in the model, it doesn't do anything. Someone's got to come at you screaming for the drawings. And I cannot tell you how many people do a great Revit model, but don't know how to do drawings. Therefore, the Revit model doesn't mean anything at all. Okay. I know I've heard stories just recently of someone who said, I built such a great model, but I went out to the site and they didn't build anything that I built in the model because your drawings didn't clearly portray that and you didn't get that information to the field. Now, ironically, we've learned something on this project with this Deluxe software is that can save you a little bit of actually having to get the drawings done because the people in the field can actually at least get a chance to see it. When it's a Revit model, you know the deal. You know it's only if you have access to Revit. Legally, illegally, some way you've got to have access to Revit or all of that beautiful information ain't worth nothing because you can't see it. Okay? Now, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot going on, and this part you sort of missed, Tyler, and I told Eric on the phone because he called me a half hour, and we both commiserated that we didn't want to do this stupid thing. I don't want to do this anymore. This is miserable. I'm not having any fun. Reason being, lots of reasons. Big one, that was nasty for someone to take that license away from Ginger and then take all of her motivation away from her. And I'm only waiting for someone to do the same thing to you and take all your motivation away from you. And then there is no one to teach. However, I said I was going to do 3 weeks. I'm going to do 3 weeks of this road, and I'm going to see if there's a net value, and then I'm going to decide if it's going to continue on. So I apologize for being a little bit hesitant with the Discord, number one, and with getting all the website going, but I'm just not getting the warm fuzzies. It really broke my spirit. And what it did to my spirit is nothing compared to what it did to Ginger. Tell me if I'm wrong, Tyler.
You're not. I can tell she's pretty upset. She doesn't
Right.
really know how to talk about it because, I mean, she was promised one thing when she came here, and she's just been not given any of that.
Well, I've been
With that said, she can continue this without Sentry, and that's kind of my thought process going into this. It's going to be a valuable skill, bottom line.
But does she want to?
I don't know. Did she have a conversation with you?
No, she didn't have a conversation with me, and I'm not looking for you to narc out what the heck she said on a smoke break. That's not what I'm looking for. My question is, does she want to? Because to be quite honest with you, I was, just working rough numbers in my head as I was swimming and doing other things. And, we had a little bit of a discussion on Friday about the cost of the software. And I want to go back to this because I had this argument with my daughter this afternoon. What's more valuable, the computer or the software?
Software.
You think? You think you think you should pay more for one software compared to a computer when you might be able to run 30 different softwares on that computer?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the software is more valuable. You can get away with a cheaper computer, but at the end of the day, I mean, you have to have the computer that can do the job. Otherwise, you can't run any of the software.
Yeah,
No?
but I'm asking the value that it brings to you to do your job. You see what frustrated me the most when I went into Freeman White and became this director of productivity, blah blah blah. Is I'm trying to teach all these people this brand new rendering and animations, and I go around and their computers are 7, 8 years old. And when they open the file, it takes 20 minutes.
Right.
See, there's a limiting return on the value of the software. And when they went to this SOA, subscriptions, whatever the hell you want to call it, I think things got a little bit confusing. Because to me, it baffles my mind when I realized, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, we've looked at the Autodesk subscription price. You realize for the price of renting the software for a year is more than the cost of the top of the line Alienware right now. To me, that doesn't seem right. To me, that seems a little bit upside down.
Well, you know what, that in my opinion, and unfortunately this might stray away from business, but in my opinion, it's the same as everything else. It's to keep it so that companies are the only thing that can afford the software, so that you can't do it on your own, trying to start on your own, anything like that. It's just another blockade.
And I'm telling you right now, you correct me if I'm wrong, the biggest restriction on a user getting better is that company. I mean, what are we talking about with Ginger right now? An IT person who doesn't know anything about the project disconnected her software, so she can't make the family that I need, which is that hood right there that you're working on.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
So my answer is going to be, well, as soon as Ginger gets the software and makes that family, we can finalize the connections for KEF 15 or 17. Maybe you want to help us decide which one it is, and maybe you want to confirm the sizes on both of these. Now that you need to do a pair of pants.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on that. I'm just wanting to make sure.
Let me ask you. Oh no, you can't get above that, up in that joist space, because it crosses under a girder, doesn't it?
And that's what pushed me down even lower into this. But this guy, I mean, obviously he's probably, I don't know if he's installed yet. I don't think it's hard for us to put a little roll down to get underneath of there or something on this guy, is there?
No.
Or even have him tap out lower.
Oh no. I don't think I would be messing with that. You're talking about the orange duct?
Yeah. So then what do I do? Can we shorten this up and have the flex come a little bit lower then? That's all we need to do.
How long is that flex?
Yeah, that's probably at 8 feet there. 7 foot. Supposed to be 6, right?
I think. I don't know.
I think I would definitely shorten that thing up and get the flex to go where you need. But I would think that you're making a mistake that Misty was struggling with on this stuff. And I think that pair of pants is going to have to happen in
Higher?
the horizontal.
Oh, right here.
Yep.
Okay.
And then on top of that, what we're now going to need to do is we're going to need to put some way for them to access to clean that horizontal duct. I think here's what I like better.
There is an access panel right there for this. Well, maybe not.
Why
No,
not just put the pants in the vertical?
Access.
He's not going to have the height he needs to put the pants in the vertical to go that
I got
spread.
you. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
what I'm thinking, cut back to where the trunk line is so we can look at this thing from the side. I want to see what our path looks like that we got to go through.
Like this, you're saying?
Yep. Drag that over about to the green. Yep. Turn me to the side. All right. What I want to do is I want to come in. You see the one that's going horizontally? Might have a little bit of slope on it. Uh-huh. I want that to go at a 45. Yep. Now move it up. Uh-huh. Don't worry about the orange guy. I am not worried about the orange guy at all.
All right.
What if we go at 22.5 degrees? Change that to a 612. Well, that's another way to go. For me personally, I would have picked that and I would have just made that a 6. Just a 6, no inches, no nothing. Stretch that out a little bit further and see if that sort of begins to avoid that purple guy and threads the needle. Go up a little bit.
Through there?
Go up a little bit with it. Up arrow. All right, right about there. Just gonna barely.
It's not going to let me draw it that way.
Nope. Now what you'd have to do is you'd have to select one of those pants and say create selected and put it on the end of that thing, then rotate it as you need.
You want it at this angle? I thought you wanted me to straighten this out.
Nope. I wanted you to put the pair of pants on that thing at that angle. See, all the grease will run back down to the hood, back down to the dishwasher.
Oh,
See, here's where it would be beneficial to have Paul or Jason or someone in line. At a very low slope, we have to put access panels. But if it's at 30 degrees or 22.5 degrees, when do we have to do that?
Where the hell are my other pants at?
Do you see what I'm saying, Eric? No, if you rotated that around and you tried to put that pair of pants in there at an angle like that and slope that back to the hood.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I was going for the pair of pants.
Well, go for the pair of pants. I'm going to go ahead and switch over. We're going to let you do a little bit of work.
It didn't let me. It's not going to let. How do you attach it? You have to click the thing itself?
What do you mean? That create
similar.
Click on that view. You're not clicking on that view yet.
I'm in the view.
Hit the middle of the pipe. The
Here,
middle.
you mean?
Yep, that's good. It'll do it.
It's put it at the other end, isn't it?
Nope, they put it the other direction.
So you just rotate that then, or no?
Oh, you somehow got to get your first and your last. reversed, you're just not picking it right. You're not picking it right. You got to find a way to pick it. But you see, with the space bar, you can rotate it. You see the 24-inch at the end of it?
There it is.
Now, that would be one way to do it. That'd be one way to do it. I personally like to drag the fittings and snap the fittings onto the duct or the pipe. You'll have better results. And then you would have had a much easier time if you did it in the side view. Now, what are those supposed to be?
9.
9, both of them,
Yep.
right? And see, now you can take that 9 and do whatever you want to do with that 9 to get it to where it wants to go.
Well, we basically want it to run over and come over and straight down into this.
That's exactly right.
This fan is scaring me. Either there's something stuck in it or it's about to go.
Well, take it out somewhere where you can blow it out good and clean.
All right, you can switch off me then. I'll clear this up, and then
I want to see it a little bit more. See, those will have to be at that 22.5 degrees. So how do you do that? Yeah, well, I guess you can do that. I wouldn't have done that way. Pick on it and say 6. Pick on. I would have raised that up. I actually would have done more steps. You're showing me a better way to do it. I don't normally stretch in that side view.
What did we say? 6 was this?
Yep. Look, see? And then you can push both of those down till they get in line, make that thing connect, and who knows, maybe that's a decent way to go and not have to interrupt with any of the deck that's actually been drawn. Listen, Eric, here's one that's pretty interesting. Because you have so many, you stay in that straight left view or whatever view that was, right view. Pick that duct and then pick the big trunk line and isolate just those two guys. Yep. Isolate. Now, take one of your little ones and drag it, and you should see that you should now be able to pick up that alignment with the one above. See that? Now, all it's doing is it's showing us that we don't have enough room for that transition. You with me? Just saying, okay.
The transition at the bottom?
Yep, that's what's messing up. The transition at the bottom is the one that's messing up.
Okay, well, let me try this. Nope. Why can't I shift him up?
Because he's controlled by his duct fittings connections.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we just need to do this and delete those, and then I'll have to reconnect them.
Or potentially raise it. You might end up having to change the whole damn angle, to be quite honest with you. See, this was probably going to have the exact, and it was just barely deleting it. Remember, you don't know where the puck pieces are. Right? You don't know how far that, but you see what happened is that just that transition was a little bit too low. It ate that little piece of puck.
All right. Come on.
That's where personally I would isolate those four fittings. Look, 2 transitions.
Hang on. I got what I needed.
All right.
They weren't at the same height, and that was causing me some. All right.
Look at it from that side view. If you watch me through this, you're gonna have an easier time. So go to a pure side view, pick both of those elbows, both of those transitions, and isolate them.
You're saying go back to the side view I was in.
Any side view. I don't care.
All right, and I'm picking what?
The 2 elbows and the 2 transitions.
All right.
Isolate them. Go to the front view. And this is how you can connect them without a puck piece, if that can be done. Is you just, yeah, that's exactly it. This one here, don't drag it to the center. Drag it to halfway off the center. You know what I'm saying?
Like this?
Yep, like that. Watch what happens. See, it snaps right into place, and then you know it's connected itself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. $1,000 says this won't work.
What to connect into?
Yeah.
You see? Do you see how? Yep, that was what it was saying.
That was, yeah, I see the little arrow on the thing. I don't know if that's new or not. All right.
Nope. Drawing that guy is going to be a real challenge.
I got to draw him sloped down.
I personally think I would go to the top view of my I'd do all this work on my 3D view. I would not be wasting time with the plan view. That's what
All right.
slows me down so much. Right there, I try to stay in the plan view.
I wanted to be able to see what I was looking at.
Well, that's where isolates would help you out better than anything else.
Gotcha.
Take the fitting,
All right.
right click on the little blue dot and say draw duct. Go in the direction of the fitting. Yep. There you go.
Oh, I might want to change that angle before I do this, don't I?
No, just draw it. Oh, to the 120 or whatever? No,
Yeah.
it's fine where it's at. But you didn't get it.
Okay, so we're good with the 120. Draw duct. I don't have a slope on it yet.
I know. Well, my hope is that it'll put that slope in there if you draw it long enough. You not isolating is what's causing it because it's trying to get all kinds of snap points. When you isolate perfect. That's good. That's good. Now try drawing it. That's it. That's the one I'm looking for. Do you see how it now found it? And it might still tell us something crazy. That's all right. Do it. Now you're talking. Because you see what happens now if you...
It goes down to the elbow.
Right. See how the fitting is turning that blue? Tyler, because to be honest, if we're going to try to do this for 4 hours, we're getting into systems today. And you wouldn't have thought that would work. But look at it. It did work. Now, the big thing is isolating. If you have a bunch of stuff on in your view, you will never get those snap points.
We're going to want to lift it up, obviously.
Yeah, I'd probably change that from a 1.5D to a 1D because it's only a 45 degree. That should give you the distance that you need up top there. See, now you can put that up another 4 inches. Remember, it's always better to, no, I would just pick one fitting, just one
Okay.
fitting. Not duct, but fitting. You want to do it to a fitting. Try doing that nudge up. Okay? Hopefully, you just said some things like, I didn't think that was going to work.
No, I knew that would work. I'm good with that. Dang it.
You see that one there? Just move that purple tap to the east a little bit to get out of the way. But remember, until we confirm where the attachments are on that hood, we don't really know, but that should clear that interference. Right?
Yep. All right, man. I'm going to be going here shortly, so.
Well, that's fine. And how long are you gone for?
He just wanted me to come in for a cookout, so I'm assuming an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Well, because I'll be honest, I'm a little bit hesitant to going into the systems because I know more than likely Ginger's never going to go back and watch it. So that means it's only going to be for Tyler. So unless Tyler tells me he really, really, really wants to learn how to draw up systems, which I don't think he does, because he still hasn't shared his screen with me. Listen, man, I appreciate you joining. I'm hoping you understand what I'm saying. To me, see, because the software price thing, that where the problem is can you do everything you want with Revit? No. You're going to need Revit and Twinmotion and Inkscape, and you're going to need Deluxe. You're going to need Bluebeam Reader in order to be able to communicate. So now all of a sudden, you're paying $10,000 working on a machine that cost $3,000 or $2,000 that was obsolete 2 years ago. Because you don't get to decide when you buy a computer, right? Because we both said they're trying to make it so that only the companies can do it, which means only the IT people are going to buy the computer. And how often do you think an IT person wants to get someone a new computer?
If we're talking about the same IT person, I can tell you that time's longer.
Yeah, well, that person is even willing to jeopardize a project, willing to ruin someone else's life just to be spiteful. My recommendation, if you want, and I'll be honest with you, I've heard it again on Thursday in the meeting with Deluxe. How do I find more Brians is what they said. Well, the first trick is you need to be able to purchase a computer. You need to be able to load your software, and you need to be able to run the software. And if you think that you can let someone else purchase your computer and your software, and you're ever going to be able to catch up to me, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen, because you have to be able to make those calls. Okay? So, Eric, I hope you have a wonderful time with your daughter. Is that who you're going to see?
No, I'm going into Mitch's. I spent yesterday with Skylar.
Well, I hope you have fun with your son and your grandson and have a good night. I appreciate you joining for this little bit of time.
Yep. I'll hit you up later. I'll try and get that other stuff done tonight when I get home so that it's ready for tomorrow, but we'll have to talk more about that.
All right. All right. Don't get me wrong. I'll tell you what you could do for me, though. Please.
Post them?
Both of them.
Yeah.
You need to post them.
Posting them right now.
And you think you're going to get in there and dimension that ductwork?
Which ductwork? That's the thing I'm not sure of which areas I need to go to. Just all the grease duct, all the kitchen duct?
All grease duct. Yes, because the general contractor swapped out hoods and finally decided on that in May. Okay? And that's why all of this stuff is a rush.
Okay.
Those two plumbing drawings, that's just for someone to highlight it pin on the wall and say, we put this in, we've tested this. They can highlight it and play with it. It's a roadmap. It's not keeping work from getting done. But I can tell you right now, I'd really like to have that grease duct.
Okay, I'll focus on that then.
Dimensioned on the quarter scale plans for the morning. Okay?
What do you mean, the one we just did?
I mean all the grease duct.
Okay.
Mike spent a day and a half on it. I'll be honest with you. If I have to do it, it's like 2-hour task. Okay?
All right.
I should be able to give it to Tyler, because I think Tyler said he wasn't even working tomorrow. And he could tag and dimension it. And see, then I can say, well, guess what? As soon as that hood's drawn by Ginger, who can't draw because she doesn't have the software. So, Paul, you better call Dee Dee and get Ginger's software working. Guess what? I can play the game too, right? I could put the heat back on the pike. So, if you don't get to it, I ain't going to be mad at you. It's going to be Tyler. Now, I would actually prefer for you and Tyler to get on a stream tomorrow and you help him tag and mention the shit. Tyler, you up for that?
I'm fine with that.
So, Eric, if you come back from having a good time, I don't want you to go into a depression because you don't feel like working. I want you and Tyler to get together tomorrow and fucking get it done. It'll be
All right.
done by lunchtime. All right?
Yep.
Fine by me.
Fine
All
by
right.
me.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, you be
All
good.
right. Have a good one.
Later.
Tyler, explain to me a little bit more about this. You still haven't showed your screen, buddy.
Sorry, I was munching on some Doritos when I got here.
Well, that's fine. I haven't even eaten. So, I mean, today. So, I'm hungry. And like I said, I'm a little bit ornery and in a really bad mood. It just has not been a good weekend. So, I don't really need to put 4 hours in. Okay. I
I'm okay
only
with
want
that.
I only want to do what you want to do.
Get this Discord rolling, and then maybe get a little progress on the website.
I want you to, you might have missed the part where I said I'm so hesitant right now. I don't want to have any big push to moving forward on the website till I see how the remainder of this training for the 3-week training goes. But
Okay.
I do want to understand the Discord better, because the Discord sort of, to me, what I'm feeling is like we may be able to do it without having me run the show. In other words, this way you and Eric could jump on the Discord and do that stuff that I just talked about.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to use to contact him.
So I apologize, but I'm going to have to actually go back to your email and do this stuff. So I never did anything with the Discord. Okay.
I got you.
You sent me an email. You sent me an email on Friday, right? Inbox.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday.
I think I could shoot you another one.
No, don't even worry about it. I don't need any more email. I like the one that I got.
Okay.
Were you in Friday? Yeah, right there it is. HTTP Discord. When I click on that, that just opens a browser, right?
And it should tell you to download it and create an account. And then it should link you straight into the channel.
It's presented by Rogue United. Already have an account, and I don't already have an account, so I need to go to. I'm just looking where I would look, set it up. Starting soon, view tab. How do I set me up an account?
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Finally.
Did you set up your Discord? Did you go to that? Because maybe you could do the same thing so we could try getting onto the Discord, Misty.
Yeah, I can open it up. I just clicked on it. I only clicked on it. So.
Yeah, you're the only one that's not in it, Brian. And as a matter of fact, I already made Ginger admin in it.
Starting soon, today at 4 p.m. I don't know how to. Why do I not know how to? Look at what I'm looking at. Hold on. Let me show you what I'm looking at, and you tell me where to click. Is that it? Yep, that's it. And
Okay. I see YouTube.
Hold on, I'm getting to it. I've got one too many browsers open. All right. So this is what I'm looking at when I clicked on your link.
Okay. Just put in Brian.
Oh, that's what I need?
Yeah, it just says display name so far.
All right. So normally you just go with a first name?
I mean, people usually do like usernames.
I'm going
for
with
video
that.
games,
You know
so,
why?
yeah.
Do you get why I'm going with that?
Brian I. Mitchell.
Yeah, buddy. My initials are BIM.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a human. Oh, this is where they had to play this game where they got to pick the hamburger, right? And then you got to do it again, and then you got to pick the hamburger again, and then you got to verify.
You know what these are, right?
To stop the robots. I get you.
No. That's how it started. You know what it is now? It's
What is it?
training AI. All we're doing is training AI when we do this.
That would make sense. Do I have to allow this? Do I?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to allow it to use the microphone.
Yep.
Now you get to see how old I am, huh?
See, this is the in-browsing version, but you can download the application, and that's kind of how I use it.
All right. Should I stop or should I continue with this till I'm done?
It's helping you create your account right now, so yeah, it's fine.
All
I
right.
would finish this out.
Oh, what should I do? Once you get on it, I should do something.
No, you're okay right
Oh,
now. I was
okay.
watching him. All right, so we're all in here, so we can hear each other twice now.
Oh, okay. I see.
So let me mute my StreamYard.
That's what it is. Okay.
Can you hear me? Unmute your StreamYard, Brian. It kicked you out.
I can hear you.
Go to your email. It's wanting you to verify your account for some reason.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming. Okay, now you can close the browser. The Discord ones. Yeah, I'm talking to Brian. He's not in the Discord currently. Yeah, it booted him out. Okay, close that. I don't know why it's doing this again.
It doesn't have the claim account anymore.
No, so I guess it worked. All right, now go to the blue R at the top left. That's your Rogue channel, and then click on Caesars, and it'll put you in with us.
Click on Caesars.
That one. Right there. And you're back, so I can mute on StreamYard account.
I'm sharing. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll stop and I'll do it again. Oh, I think I'm on StreamYard. I should share on the other one, shouldn't I? Oh, okay. All right, now I'm back over here.
And I'm unmuted. I'm over here.
Yep.
See, I think there's some advantage to us having these discussions on StreamYard, but I definitely think that the ability to be able to work together in the breakout groups, I think that definitely makes more sense to do that with Discord.
Yeah.
I still think there would be a value in being able to record it easily if you can look into that OBS record, because I just, in all the years that I've been doing this, the data is worth so much. To just throw it away makes no sense.
Right. You're right. I just see that's what I'm saying. Discord's more of a workspace than it is recording.
Yes,
So-
it's more like it solved the problem that I was struggling with on the breakout rooms on the StreamYard. And with a little bit of effort, what you would end up having to do is you would not want to mute the Discord. What we'd want to do is we'd want to mute we would not want to mute the StreamYard. We'd want to
Just
mute
mute the Discord.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we could continue to have that kind of play. And I see it. I see it. I don't have 100% grasp on it, but I see it. Friday was a pretty good stream, to be quite honest with you. If you feel like doing something tonight, why don't you go back and watch Friday's stream?
Oh, I will. I
I
planned on being on this till 8, but I get it if you guys want to call it an early night, and I can watch that. That'll give me perfect time.
Well, my thought is it'll get you caught up with Ginger because we were going over views.
Yeah.
Because the next thing we really want to go into is what we really want to do is we want to get into this systems one. And that's going to be placing this duct in this pipe. And it's going to be pretty dry and deep information, but it's what you guys need to grasp. Now, what Eric was actually doing at the beginning of this StreamYard is a lot of what you need to do. You just need to learn how you got to drag and what you got to turn off and how you, because if you don't do it exactly the way Revit wants it,
It's going to fight it.
You end up fighting it and getting real frustrated, especially with slope pipe and slope duct. And that's where I think that there's a strong value in the StreamYard, us being to teach other people, because I know until I learned that I had needed to isolate just the stuff I was working on, I had no idea how I could draw. And it was like sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't work. But the thinking is, if we could get into the systems, and some of this stuff is going to be redundant, you know, some of just like when we did in the structural, you remember these commands out here, these are all the same ones that are on our architecture tab that we discussed at the beginning. So it's not like you really have to get, because you'll notice systems is one of the longest ones. It's the most icons. Okay.
Yeah. And I had a feeling this one's going to have a whole lot to it.
It's
Yeah.
not bad.
I mean,
bad.
I'm saying not at
Architecture's worse.
first, but once you get into the deep nitty gritty.
It's not anything to be scared of, and it is a little bit scary. That's all I can say. Okay.
You know what? But before we start it, we need to show them how to control their 3D box and how they can control their section and their 3D and have all those views ready to draw so you can see what you're drawing, right? The 3D box. Have you done that
Yeah, I
yet?
need help with that on the one I was doing. I don't know why, but I could not find my 3D button. I just couldn't even turn it on.
Let me see your screen. Hold on.
Yeah, there's two different ways to in this.
All right. There's one at the top, right next to the big A, at the very top, little icons, right next to the other side. That house. Keep going. One more. That one. Click on it. And there's your 3D.
So it's literally just the house. That's hilarious.
It's the
But
house.
what I want to show them is to turn on the section box on there and be able to see that box in plan view and see exactly where you're going in the 3D.
So if you pick on one of your walls, like your entrance wall where you got all those garage doors,
Yeah.
when you do that, nope, turn it back on. See, that's one way to look into the building is by hiding objects. But you see, if you pick that wall, and once you pick that wall, the contextual menu, okay, which is right above the word east in the tabs, there's a little thing, there's a word that says view. It's in the middle of your toolbars at the top. You were in the right area. Pick the wall again. Right. Keep going to the left. Keep going till you see the view tab. Keep a little bit more right there. Now go down to the bottom one is
Right
the
there.
section box, which you can make happen by just typing in a BX.
BX. I
You
see
hover
that.
over,
Yeah. I
right?
like that it reminds me of your commands right there.
Yeah, and you'll end up remembering them. See, this is a good way for you to look at how is that garage door going to actually work in that wall, right?
So
Right.
now in plan, so pick that 3D box and go pick in your plan, and you'll see that box in plan. So you can move it where you really want it. In the
Right.
when
Look,
you're
look at level one. Look at level one across the top. What Misty's trying to say is you'll see that blue box when you click on level one. Right? You see where that blue
yeah,
box?
you see that?
See,
Okay.
now you could stretch it to anywhere you actually want to be working. So if you
Right.
just wanted to see the garage wing, you could, stretch it over there and stretch it real close on the front. And now when you went back to that 3D view, that's where it would be stretched to.
Then you have more control over what you're really looking at, and you can
No,
hopefully
I
zoom
deleted
into
that.
your.
So I'm wondering
Yeah.
if that's gonna tweak. Nope, didn't mess with the inside. But I would need that wall to come up.
Anything else that you were struggling with? See, that's where you do have to do some drawing in order for us to really gain any ground. And I could see that you did a little bit more drawing.
Yeah, I tried on what's it called? Saturday. I just phone calls after phone calls after phone calls after I need this. I miss George. I miss George a lot.
George called me yesterday.
How'd that go?
It went really well. It went really well.
Good.
I can't. He said they're having a drought out there, so it's costing them money to stay. And he was curious when I was coming out or if I was still coming out. And I told him, listen, man, if it's a drought and you're running low on water and propane's costing you money and you had enough fun for the summer, come on back. Don't wait for me. And I told him I may come out in August, but I told him when he comes back, I want to go out to eat with him and talk about stuff. And
Right.
I think it's going to work glowingly. I think it's going to be really good. We had a nice conversation. I know I'm going to like George. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's good people.
But he does want more money. He got offered.
I told you that. Yeah.
We're lying about that. That's the way it works. Cost of the land goes up.
Everything's going up.
Mm-hmm.
Living space, dining space. I hear you. I wouldn't
How-
quit your day
how
job
about
and become an architect.
Let's show them maybe you want to create a room tag in an area that there's no walls. Let's give them a room separation line.
We did. We do. We already
Did you?
covered.
Good.
Yeah, we covered the room separation line, and we covered how to make it non-binding.
I remember, but I was having trouble with it trying to make it work. I don't know why.
It'll do that room now. Go ahead and do a room, and you'll see that area is not divided anymore. There you go.
It's got to be, maybe the line has to be connected all the way, to the other line. So, yeah.
Can I delete that room separation now?
Absolutely, and that's going to say there's a redundant rooms.
Yeah. See, I want to put in I don't know why my Zoom is doing that. I want to put in a counter pretty much to about right here.
Yep.
Or maybe the other way, actually, probably. Yeah, it's the pantry.
And I'll be honest with you, when you're in this, what you're in right now is called schematic design.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in schematic design, generally, I would recommend to someone that they would draw a wall that represents that casework, that bar, or that countertop or whatever the heck you got going on there. But eventually we're going to end up getting into casework because that is one of the definite weaknesses that nobody really knows how to do the best way. There's a lot of ways to do casework. And I don't know that the best way is always the best way, because like the average house only has a little bit of countertop and casework. But if you're
Right.
dealing with a hospital where there's patient rooms and every patient room has all, you've been into a patient room, you've seen the countertops and the casework and all of that stuff. Some jobs are real heavy casework
Yeah.
and some jobs are just a little bit of casework. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now you would just draw a room separation line from the end of that wall over to that other wall, and then you could make that say kitchen. It didn't want you to duplicate it. Just go to the end of that long wall. Yep. Pick your blue dot on it. Well, that's fine too. Nope, you're going too far. Go to the other end of the wall.
Because that wall counts as part
It
of the
just
group
wants you to
separation.
divide it. That wall
Gotcha.
is doing the dividing job.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I gotcha now.
And I like that because that means that if Eric's teaching you tomorrow how to tag and dimension that stuff, or maybe if that's not going smoothly, maybe you can just join him and he'll show you how to do it while he's doing it. And maybe he can do a couple of them, and then you can say, I'd like to try that, and he could take an hour break. You could download the file and you could try what he's trying to teach you. I think the Discord could be very powerful. The part that scares me is I don't know when you'd want to record and make this information available to the masses, because I do think that there is something to be said if people watch what we're doing with these StreamYards. It's a good way to learn how to improve yourself, which is the user evolution part of the road,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But if you do have some energy, why don't you go watch Fridays, and why don't you draw at the same time? Try to draw. It's good what you're doing, but you have to have a better target of what you're trying to draw to.
I
Okay?
completely agree, because right now I'm kind of just playing a make-believe world, and I need to see how to actually make it work.
Well, and see, that's the neat part. If you can see your StreamYard screen, is one of the things that I went over is I have all of these files. Okay. So these are files that are other jobs, some jobs that I did, some files that I just was able to put my hands on, so to speak. But I have lots and lots of Revit files. Okay. And some of them are pretty neat jobs. I mean, one of them is the Minnesota football stadium. I want to get those files and put those in a place where not just you, but the users, the group of users that want to learn how to work better. Because as I was saying in the beginning of this stream, for you and Ginger, if you guys want to do BIM coordination, the toughest part about BIM coordination is you're going to be working in someone else's file. Okay. In other words, you're not going to draw the walls and the doors and the windows. What you're going to need to do is come in here and figure out where to put ductwork, and where to put mechanical equipment, and what is mechanical equipment. And if this is a swimming pool up here, where am I going to put the piping, and how am I going to run all that information to it? Now you can see this model was early in the design level, that it doesn't have all that finer point. But that's what people are wanting to happen at this point, because they are fine. BIM is very expensive. And I thought for a long time that people were not going to be willing to pay that price. But I can tell you, most people that have used BIM on a job have seen enough benefits. They definitely see a lot of things that they're like, well, I thought I was getting this and I thought I was getting that out of BIM. And look at that. Ironically, I'm talking about that they don't have duct, and look at that. They do actually have duct right here. duct 3 to 4, duct 5 to 6. They do actually have some duct drawn, but let me tell you what, an architect doesn't understand anything about duct. Okay, it's not till you start to get those engineering files. And I do have some engineering files. And that's what taught me how to get better was by looking at how other people did it. And I always joke,
Mhm.
it's a toss-up. Sometimes you can actually, they teach you that you can learn how to do something really cool. And sometimes you can just learn how to, I don't ever do that because that's terrible, right? You can learn from no matter what, whether the person's good or the person's bad, you can still learn either what to do or what not to do. So that's when we want to get to the point where we can provide these files open access to people. How do we want to transfer files from me to you? Do you have a way to transfer? You just want to do it with the Google Drive for right now? I have a little bit of space. You want me to pick a couple? What kind of projects would you like to look at? Would you like to look at buildings, or you just want to?
I'm cool with whatever you think is a good place for me to start. I'm not too picky. I want to absorb information, but I want to do it the right way as well. Otherwise, I'm not going to remember it.
All right. Can you do me this favor? Another to do as a rogue type thing. So keep track of these hours.
Yeah, what you got?
See what you can find for a computer for about $1,500.
For Ginger?
Yeah. Decent video card, preferably solid state drive, and RAM. 16 works, but 32 is fine. You don't need to go overboard on the RAM or the video card. See what's the best you can do for under $1,500.
Okay.
All right.
I think I can do that.
If nothing else, we can get it because I did find that the gaming machine is here, but I think it might hurt my daughter's feelings because when she was learning Revit, it was the one I gave her. But to an extent, I'd actually like to know. Maybe I might be in a position where I say I want to buy 10 computers and put the software on it and have it running so that I can send it to people if they want to draw, but that's the only thing holding them back. But remember what I said earlier in this conversation. If you want to be a BIM guy, if you want to try to follow in my footsteps, you have to buy your computer, you have to load your software, you have to make that run. And the irony is, in the old days, it was the responsibility of a draftsman to buy his scale, to buy his template, to buy his inking pens, to buy his tools. Those tools were yours. And I think a great disservice has been done to the people who do their jobs when they introduced IT in it and allowed IT be the only one to load stuff. I know that Mike is held back on a regular basis because he can't load a software because he doesn't have authorization. So the truth of the matter is, what someone really needs to tell Ginger is, you don't want to be learning on someone else's machine. You want to be the master of your own reality.
Yeah, and she does want to buy her own.
Yeah,
Well,
because you have to learn on your own time. The companies, they want
They
you to
don't
know
care.
it.
Yeah.
They want you to know it when you come in the door.
well,
I
and
dropped 2 links to 2 options just now on the chat bar for you, and one of them's actually $400 off.
Yeah.
tell her I need her to get a little bit more serious, that show me that she's not just going to let a bad attitude ruin this for her when you talk to her tomorrow, maybe on a smoke break or whatever. Oh, not tomorrow, Tuesday, right? You're not even going on site tomorrow?
No, I've got to take care of some stuff here at the house tomorrow, and I told him,
Oh, so you took the day off.
yeah,
Okay.
but I'm happy to do it for this.
I heard they were sending people home. That wasn't
Oh, they
your-
are. They are.
But that wasn't your case.
No.
No,
I even asked Dan, I said, hey, just give me a heads up if my name hits that list. I'm at a point where I don't think my feelings are going to be too hurt.
Well,
Oh, this might be the one.
You say you put that in the private chat.
What's
Uh,
that?
Oh, is that it? I was wondering what all that stuff was that appeared. I
Yeah,
thought for some reason.
there's now 3 links,
Cool.
different options.
Brian knows how to buy the best machines.
No, that's not
Any,
true.
anything with Intel over AMD. I love both. I've got an AMD, but my only problem is I am overheating so much. And I knew it was going to happen. I did.
I'm not
Tyler
sure.
needs one too. If I think Tyler needs one too, you know. Yeah.
Oh, Tyler's already got a computer. He's already got what he needs. Truth of the matter. You know how I told you about which is more valuable, the computer or the software? I don't know if you gathered that Eric was having a hard time. His fans starting to go on his computer. What he's not realizing is it's been 3 years since he purchased a computer. It doesn't make any sense for you to be running on a computer more than 2 years old. It really doesn't. Not when the cost of the computer is less than the cost of the software. I know that we're not upgrading capabilities as fast as we used to. So it's not like you need it because of the speed or something like that. But at the same token, computers don't last forever. Although these Alienwares, you know that one right up there, that little one right there, that thing's probably 6 years old and it's never been turned off.
It's pretty impressive. I can't lie.
And it's lived with a 2-pack a day smoker. So it's absolutely,
That's impressive. Yeah.
it's actually polluted. The fans probably look so disgusting. They are workhorses. I just thought I debated actually hooking that machine up and getting the software running and taking that up to the site this week, but that doesn't have the specs that we're talking about here, and I don't want to put Ginger on a piece of shit and then not know if it's Ginger that's not working out instead of the computer that's being slow, because unfortunately this project is a big project. But I do think that the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow morning is we're going to see if we can't play this little bit of a game, because I'm going to tell Paul, hey, Paul, I can't get that ductwork done until Ginger draws that dishwasher, and Ginger's software is not working right now. So you better reach out to IT and get that straightened out. And let me tell you what, I know her games. I know the IT's games. Let me tell you what, she told me that I wasn't going to be allowed to work on this job if I didn't run virus software.
Boy, was she wrong.
She was a little bit wrong, right?
Oh, I know.
So let's see what the heck we can do.
The most recent one I just linked, that one is.
But here's the problem, Tyler. All those things that you just put on there, send those to me in an email, because what I'm worried about is I don't know how to get to the private chat after the stream ends.
I can fix that. Yeah, I can email that to you. I'm kind of just putting up a bunch of options. The most recent one, which will probably be the first one in the email, I need to make sure I'm just emailing you. Okay, yeah. It's got probably the best bang for your buck. It's a little over the budget, but it's probably the best.
Oh, it's so hard to work with this many screens. Good gravy. We go there, we go here, and we go there, and we go that. What are we looking at? 32 gig on the video card? What is the actual RAM itself? Oh, no, that 32 gig is the RAM. What's on that? Oh, what is the GeForce RTX?
That's going to be your graphics card.
And how much RAM is on that graphics card?
That's not the most recent one. Let me see it again. You're looking at 1 terabyte. You're looking at 32 gigs of RAM.
I would advise against this one. Don't like the video card. You want with a better video card.
What's the video card in it? Oh, a 4060.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but I'm not. Normally, they will tell you the amount of RAM.
Here,
that's
click
on-
the 64 gig RAM one. It's got 32 gigs of RAM. Click that one right there. It's right at 1500. Scroll up, see if it gives you a better card too. No, it's still a 4060,
Gotcha.
which it's not a bad card. It's really good for what it is, but it's not a 4070. It's not a 4080. It's not a 4090.
Where are my ports? There's my ports. That's all I really get to see for the port.
360.
2 USB and HDMI, a charging, and a USB-C.
And this is the USB-C, that one with my little.
Yeah.
So that means you could run 2 monitors. You could run one off the HDMI and one off the USB-C.
You could run 10 monitors if you use an adapter. But
You're going to tax the video card.
yeah.
Plus, it's not going to be fun to do. All right. I'll click around those. I'll be honest. I'm probably,
Look at the one at the very bottom of the chat. It's a Lenovo.
Yeah, that's what Jaffe likes, is those Lenovo's. Let's see.
They're not bad, honestly. They've came a long way in the last couple years. Yeah.
Let's
So
see.
it's got a 4070, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, Intel i9 14900, which that's a really good processor.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That's what you want if she's serious.
Yep, that right there.
That's what you want if she's serious. So what I want you to do is I want you to show her, because where I see you stepping in on this thing is I'm probably going to essentially get you a credit card to the Rogue business account so that you can do this kind of stuff. I would want, because you're going to need to do that in order to get the domain and the incidentals that you're going to be involved with to get the website running.
Yeah.
I'd like to put you in charge of ordering that stuff because you have more of a love for it than I did. I used to enjoy it.
Yeah. I want
I
to polish it and make it look like a very professional organization and get as much attraction as possible.
Well, I think that a 16-inch with 2560, I don't know how anyone would read that text. Definitely anyone over 40, I don't think they'd be able to read that text.
Oh, I can increase your zoom.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But you're going to want the monitor.
Yeah, you can connect to a monitor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That- no one works on their laptop.
What I'm saying is you probably could save some money with the laptop screen not being as good.
Well, the problem is they build these where the bigger it is, the better stuff they can fit in for cheaper.
I get it. I get it.
You're not
So
wrong.
what-
I agree with you.
What I'm saying is this is the important one, is that video card. And what do these ports look like? I hate when they don't show the ports.
Oh, that's perfect.
A lot. Plenty.
It gives you 2 USB-As, a 3, which is a card reader, so like a SIM card. Number 4, here's zoom at the bottom. It's number and telling you what they are too. Another USB-A,
Oh,
and then
goodness.
2 USB-Cs, a combo audio jack, so it works for microphone and
an
headphone.
HDMI. That could actually run 3 screens effectively.
Efficiently.
Yeah, I think that's the nicer machine. Like I said, that's the one Jaffe was leaning on. What I need you to do is I need you to have a little bit of a heart-to-heart talk with Ginger on Tuesday when you get back on site.
Okay.
I'm sure a laptop would make anybody work. So when you got a laptop and you got
No,
everything you
that's not
need,
true. That's not true because
And you said that to her. You can't just buy your way in.
well,
you-
when you have it, she's wanting one bad. So I bet she means business when she gets it. So I think giving it to her might help her also be more excited.
She'll definitely feel obligated to put in some hours.
Yeah.
And once she
Well-
puts in some hours and she can, potentially start making cash too.
That's
well,
Yeah.
if you remember, that was what my theory was if you guys help me get this Rogue up and running with the training and being in these StreamYards, I don't have a problem laying out that investment. I made you that offer, and ironically,
I think you need to have that conversation with her as well. I
yeah.
think she wants to hear it from you as well.
Well, I want you to tell her that I've tasked you with purchasing a computer for her.
Okay, I will.
All right?
All right.
Because to me, actions mean a lot more than words. Words
Yep.
don't mean shit. And I appreciate you cutting me a little bit of slack on going with the domain. I just want to hold back because I want to make sure that we've got something where people really want to do this. And I'm definitely hesitant on everyone, including myself. That was where I wanted to start this conversation this week. Or today. That's why I named the stream Sunday Misery. I don't even know if I want to do it anymore. Okay? But I do know this. I know that you can motivate me. I know that Eric can motivate me. I know that I can motivate Misty. I know that I can motivate Eric. If we work together into something that's gonna motivate each other, that's why I didn't give up. That's why I didn't just say, hell with it, cancel it. Tyler's not even home yet. He doesn't give a damn. Nobody's here. I'm not giving up on it. I want to follow through with the first 3 weeks. And then we may repeat all the training again as Rogue, as the official domain, as something that's out there. And I may invite some architects and some companies and say, if you've got new people that are wanting to learn the software, let's learn the software and do it all again. This is my sort of pilot test program. And we're going to see whether we crash and burn and hit the ground or we take off.
I got you.
I do appreciate you joining, Misty and Tyler. I don't think that there's a real need to make this into a 4-hour day. The sun is out, and I'll be honest, I think I want to go have a little fun and get something to eat.
Hey, I'm not going to stop you one bit there.
I like it.
I am disappointed that Paul and Jason didn't join. We have given them now almost 2 hours, right? It's not like we weren't here. Tomorrow, you and Eric, I want you to be that little bit of spark for Eric, whether that's him training you or you watching him and him just being that motivational to watch him and try the things that he's trying. Download the mechanical and the plumbing. To be quite honest with you, you should download all the files from the Google Drive.
Where is the Google Drive again? Let me just make sure I still have access to that.
Oh, you do. You do.
Google Drive. Task list for Kappa. Shared with me.
Yep, Revit files. That's it right there. And when you go there, those are the files that you should download all those and put those in one folder.
Okay.
All right. And then you should open up 2 copies of Revit. And with 1 copy of Revit, you should open up the mechanical. And with the other copy of Revit, you should open up the plumbing. You should actually see that Eric posted both of those at 450, right?
450, 449. Plumbing and mechanical. Yeah.
Plumbing and mechanical. Those are the 2 files that he was working in. See if you can go play with the things that we've looked at. And tomorrow you can actually have it on the screen. Maybe you're actually tagging and dimensioning exactly what he's tagging and dimensioning and saying, hey, that wasn't so bad. I can do this, Eric. You with me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Because I do think it would be motivational. I don't think he's got that much to draw. I know how fast he is. I think it's more that he just doesn't want to sit down and do it. He sort of he can't bring himself to get the motivation. And I do believe that you could bring that. So that's where I think that this is a good thing and it's going to help all that. That's why it's user evolution. It's for all of us. All right.
Right. I agree. Now, let me ask you this. What time would probably be a good time to try and reach out to him, and how should I reach out to him?
If you want, I'll instigate it. We'll probably be thinking about 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. Okay. And if he wants, we can do it right here in the Discord.
Well,
it sounds like he knows how to use it.
that he's got a little exposure. You may get to give him some help, but I think that would be fine. And the best thing is it wouldn't be recorded because they're still worried about NDA stuff, so you guys can play with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It would be where you're teaching him the Discord, so at least he's thinking about it, and then he might sort of catch the groove. This may hit, this may miss. We'll just see where it goes. All right.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where those files went.
They'll probably to your download folder. Show
Yeah,
in
I'm not
folder.
finding that.
Do the show in folder on that one up there. Yep, the 3 dots, show in folder.
It's on
It's in your download.
users Tyler downloads. Okay,
And we
there
never
we go.
want to do that. We never want to open it from there. Ever. Never. We want to have a C BIM folder. Go to your C drive. You only have one drive?
Yes.
Yep. Make a new folder. Make it BIM. Then make a new folder under that BIM and make it be the project name. No, inside of BIM. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was about to say.
In there. Now make a new folder.
We just say casino, but Caesar's, yeah. Caesar's Sniper.
I do. That's what I do. The only thing I'll warn you is your links will actually say that when someone downloads it.
I'm okay with that.
Now, listen, Tyler, you need all of those files. You don't
Right.
You got the plumbing and the mechanical, but you need all the architecture, the structure, all of that stuff downloaded, all put into that BIM folder in order for you to be able to work.
Wait, what?
Go back to your Google Drive.
I opened this. It's just I already had Revit open.
Yeah, no, I get. I know that I see what you're in, but the problem is if you scroll down in your browser, scroll all the way to the bottom of your browser. Yep, that thing.
Oh dear.
All the way to the bottom. You're gonna under Revit links, hit the plus next to Revit links. See all those reds?
Got it.
Oh, they're all the links that you didn't find when you opened it.
And you don't need some of them, right?
Yeah, did you see
Electrical,
that?
fire
Did you-
protection.
You see how it found the mechanical one because you're in the plumbing and the mechanical has the plumbing loaded into it, but you don't have the architectural. You don't have the architectural ceilings. You don't have the the electrical. You need all those files, and you can actually shift and pick all of them at one time, and it'll put them all in a zip file. Yep, any of the big ones is gonna do that to you.
Yeah.
Well, but anyway, that's what you already loaded that mechanical once.
No, I downloaded Mike's, not yours.
Oh, you're right. That does say something different.
You guys need to get rid of mics. You got 2 of them up there.
No. The other one's the mechanical Rev 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that the bottom file right there? Composite?
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna say it's not letting me scroll, so I figured.
Yep. It's basically telling you tried to open the same file twice. But now you've got some files to actually open, and you got some you can play with, and you can at least sort of take a look at a little bit deeper, play with. Look at last week's Friday StreamYard, what we talked about with views, and see if you can't figure out your way around. Find where that light green ductwork is. You understand what we're looking at? Is these hoods?
Yeah, it's all kitchen exhaust.
I know it's all a little bit new to you, so I don't want to get you in too deep, but play with it for a couple hours before you go to bed. And then
With that 3D box, yeah.
and
3D
when
box.
we get on tomorrow, then you'll have a little bit better grounding. And who knows, if you can actually do the tagging and dimensioning, trust me, we would love to throw a lot of work at you because we don't want to tag and dimension anymore. Eric does not like doing that. Not to mention he sucks at it. Okay?
Go easy
I-
on Eric now. He seems like a guy.
He's very disheartened. I mean, come on.
It seems like everybody at BIM on this project. Let me rephrase. It seems like everybody in management on this project is.
I think everybody in the world is a little bit disheartened. Did you hear that freaking news today?
Biden dropping.
Yeah.
That was seen a mile away.
Oh, I think it was seen at least 6 months away. 6 months ago, where they've been talking about it, but the fact that they're celebrating the solution that Kamala, are you serious? I'm a little bit disheartened with life.
Yeah, I'm scared of.
See if
What
you
the future
can
holds.
get lost. See if you can get lost in drafting and learning this BIM. Dude, I'm telling you, you can be a BIM modeler by the end of August easily. And I would be glad to vouch for you.
Now with the electrical file,
This is where I'd probably have to.
it's going to slow them down. I just don't want one of them or two of them are really heavy.
Fire protection you don't really need. Fire protection
I
is
don't
not.
have it.
Cool.
You don't really need that one. You've
Now,
got it. You need. You've got everything you need. Now, if you look at the building and you cut a section box, you'll be able to see what's going on there.
God, this computer is real happy with me right now.
Well, that's where we probably want to get that better computer for Ginger if she's going to do anything. So,
Oh yeah, because I
make
mean, if
sure-
this is
make
taking
sure-
this long, God.
well, you better understand that. You know, it's bad because it's frustrating until you sit there and say, you know, I just made $50 today just sitting here waiting for a screen to update. All right. There's worse ways to make money.
Yeah, you
But-
ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
But at the same token, when you're waiting like that, people get angry at you when they want you to get something done, pow, pow, like Paul's asking us to get these drawings done.
Feel a little pressure at times, but that's all right.
Oh, interesting. Explore. You're exploring in some crazy areas. But do you notice how there was a plus next to kitchen work? Where you went? Right?
Yeah, it's a
And
drop down window.
those two windows that you're looking at are dependent views. You remember we talked about that. Double click on your wheel and it'll zoom to it. Okay? Those are dependent views. And this was all stuff we used to communicate with the field. These aren't actually in the drawings. These are drawings that we do to get our work done to be able to make drawings.
I
Okay?
gotcha.
But the actual drawings that you would be needing, and let me see how bad your computer is if you went up in your browser a little bit.
Up here towards the plumbing.
Yep. That's what I want to see. Stretch that window so that we can read all of the text because you're not getting it big enough. There you go. See the casino, domestic, and gas dimensioned? Yep. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see how good your computer really is.
It's
Well,
a step
Good.
below yours. I believe you've got the what's it
Well,
called?
what I
4090.
what I want you to do tomorrow is I want you to do some time checks against Eric's computer because I think Eric's computer is like 4 times as slow on that step and then really slow on this panning. And what he doesn't understand, he liked the money that he made, $60,000, but he didn't invest any of it into a new computer. And that's going to be problematic for him because you can only go so long without buying that computer.
Oh yeah.
It's not bad. Yours is pretty good. Yours is pretty good. You got a
It
good
is.
computer. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to make money other than the fact that you're just not doing it. So
Just got to get my feet up. from
are
whatever.
you learning faster than your other BIM classes?
like I said, the other BIM classes never even opened Revit. It was all the management side.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, are you learning faster?
I'm actually learning instead of just regurgitating facts back to me from a textbook.
That was what I was after. That's what I
Yeah.
was after, Tyler. So
Yeah.
stay
I can
with
actually touch this stuff and not feel scared to press a button and delete something by accident.
listen,
And if I
stay,
do, I know how to undo.
stay with this, and by the end of August, you're going to be faced with a choice. Do you want to risk it and go into business for yourself, or do you want to take a full-time job with someone? And that could be with Century. By all means, I would be glad to talk to the top corner office and say, Tyler's ready to go. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no reason why you can't coordinate, Tyler. Okay, you're so fast already. You're gonna catch on.
Keep on this pace. Let's stay diligent with it. We'll write this off as just a bad day. We still, like I said, we still got what, 2 hours into it. So that's not a terrible meeting, but to be able to do something and learn it and get a job in it in 60 days, how can you justify trying to go get a bachelor's degree and hoping you're going to get a job? Because I will tell you what I always told people why, my kids would ask me, Dad, why do you like to draw so much? And I was like, for me, it's like a college course. If you don't know about a football stadium, how it's actually built, if you do the drawings to build the football stadium, you'll learn how the football stadium is actually built.
Right.
If you draw parts for the car or whatever type of job you end up drawing, you end up learning. It's like being in a college class, playing a video game in a college class and getting paid for it. That's what I've always looked at, how I've always looked at BIM. And I think,
see, like you mentioned with the car parts, I also have thought about this designing gun parts. I mean, 3D printed polymer gun parts are extremely popular these days.
Yeah, you could definitely. Yeah.
you would not do that in Revit. We could, by all means, explore Inventor again. That's going to be done with a different software. Revit is for buildings.
Yeah, I know, but in families, I could hypothetically create an object the same dimensions.
No. And to be honest with you, I don't know that I would even go the Autodesk software. If anything, I would go with what my buddy uses, that Rhino.
Yeah.
That's what I would be going with. And we could even get him on here, and he would probably be glad to teach you. If you think you would rather do parts than buildings. If you want to do buildings and you learn Revit, it's sort of like what I told you when we first met. The reason I went to that school in Pittsburgh was they guaranteed you a job within 60 days of graduation, or they gave you 30% of your tuition back. How could someone do that? Well, because there's not enough Revit users out there.
Yeah.
So learn this. Oh, that's funny. You went right to the damn Starbucks where we were having problems.
Is this Starbucks right here? Or is it where I just was?
Or you just where that little angle. Yep, right there. There's some under. Why don't you see if in that area there's a problem? There's some water that has to go out to the bar, and there's no walls to get the water there. Why don't you see if you can sort it right in there, right? A little bit more north. Right there.
There's the water right there at the bar. You might need more. The filtered water's going out.
No. I want him to understand what's going on there because he can't understand it from that plan view. And that's where what we do, Tyler. If you're over a piece of pipe, how
do you do the section?
All right, that's what I was going to try to show you. But you need to select the objects first. So what we're going to do is hover over a piece of pipe. Pick on the pipe. And do the BX, B as in Brian X, or the one that was the section box. And then what it's going to do is it's going to jump you into that 3D view.
Eventually.
Oh, yeah. It's going to take a little bit of time. Just remember you get paid for it.
Yeah, that always helps.
I can guarantee my last computer would have crashed.
Maybe.
GTX 960 graphics card with 16 gigs of.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Now you pick the outside box and you stretch it up and you stretch it over.
Okay, so is this our bar right here?
That's in the ceiling. You're in the
You're in
ceiling
the
right
ceiling.
now.
I'm still in the
Stretch
ceiling.
way down
Okay.
to the ground. Take
And so-
the bottom stretch handle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And go way down, way down. Now you're getting somewhere. More. There you go. You're almost
God,
there.
how long is this pipe?
It's a pretty tall building. You just made it to the casino level. See?
So what we do
Jeez.
is when we're looking at 3D, we'll go from mechanical to coordination view. So in your browser, you can switch it and it'll look a little bit different for you. And you'll
Yes.
switch it back and forth.
Misty's trying to tell you she set this view to mechanical. So if you click once in white space.
Yep.
Over in your properties box, you got to scroll down. This is where I told you got to have a bigger monitor to do this. You see, you passed it. Go back up where it says the word mechanical. Keep going. Right there. Change that. Nope. Change that to coordination. Go to your white screen. And now you would see the walls. Right? And see, the reason she made it mechanical was because you're seeing through, you couldn't see through those walls. What I like to do is a VV. Nope. Just bear with me. I'm going to show you. VV. Victor. Go to the filters. Nope. Filter tab across the top. There you go. You were right at it. There you go. You see where it says, let's see.
I'm assuming I can turn removed and Rev 9 off.
Yeah, you could actually delete that, but you can do anything because you own this file and we're not taking this file back in. You can't hurt anything.
Right.
Go down to the bottom. Go down to the bottom and do an add. And add. Nope. Go back up. Architectural objects. Yeah. And then give that architectural objects a transparency. Right there. Yep. 70. Perfect. That's good. Anything is good. And now say okay. And now what we'll see is now you can see the walls and see where they go.
Without having to hide the wall. Yeah, that's nice.
Without
Okay,
having-
so you were saying there's an issue here. What's the issue?
Well, when you stretch that out big enough, you'll see that the issue is getting the water over to the bar. You're in too small of a view. And if you remember what
Which way am I going? Left, right, back,
Oh,
straight?
remember what Misty showed you is you pick on the box there, and then you go over into the plan, and you can see where that box is at in your tab where you've already had it open.
Yeah, this one.
Yep, that's the one. You'll see the box. See where the box is? You're not going to that upper bar.
Up here?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the spot right there. There you go. And now if you went back to that 3D view, you can see there's a little bar out there that needs some water. And
That
where
one
does
right here?
that water get there? Yep, that's it.
If you drop your 3D a little bit lower, you can see them coming across in the service level.
Yep. Let him play with that. We're gonna let him
Yeah. I
play.
just want to make sure you can see.
That little bit of playing
Whoa.
is then gonna, you just hit the scroll bar is all you did.
Yeah, it just
That little bit of playing is gonna get you more comfortable. When you feel comfortable enough to get your way around, now you're going a little bit too far, but you can actually see how Misty's routed that water over there inside the service level. They now need to core the slab. We need to tell them where to core that slab. Right
which
now,
is right in the middle of the damn wall.
what's that? Well, it is to get it to the middle of the wall. And
I hear you.
you
And
see
I'm not
where
it's actually the
disagreeing.
shortest path underneath. It's the shortest path in the service level.
now I'll tell you what I don't like about what you did, Misty.
Sure.
Those pipes, you didn't draw them parallel to the conduit. You have them crossing the conduit. They could have been drawn straight down along that wall. And
Yeah. And you can switch them, Tyler. See if you can move them to see if you can get them parallel.
That's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to see if you can figure out a better routing and show me that better routing. That's going to get
And-
you to playing with them. It's not going to be the easiest for you right now. You're doing exactly what you need to do. You're catching on, probably from watching Eric and I do stuff on the fly. But yes,
Yeah.
that pipe right there needs to be. You got it now. Remember what I told you about isolating stuff so that you could see just the right amount of information.
Or bringing that crop 3D view always really close to where you're working. And then that's always, whenever I start changing anything on the model,
You drew it
I'll
up
do
and
that.
down a plane. You did a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
I did a 180, didn't I?
You did some crazy stuff, and that's why we want you to play with it, so that you can get frustrated and say, I can't get it to work at all. And then once we show you, you're like, oh, is that it? You're going to need to do undos because you torched that shit.
It takes a while
Is
to
it
learn
that
to
bad,
draw
huh?
3D. You'll
Yeah,
get
that
it.
was a
You'll
bad
get
one. That was a bad one. And it's because of how your view was actually rotated when you did that drag. And that's the part that's so hard to really see. If you went to the plan view right now, in the cube, nope, in the cube, on the cube in the corner, I wanted you in that 3D view to take it to plan direction.
Oh, like
And
east west.
I know how you got it. The top of the cube. That's it. Hit that little arrow on top. It would have taken you there.
Okay.
See, what I'm saying is when you get your orientation right and figure out which way you're going, this is where you want to stretch it, and then it won't go
Over
up
this way, if I'm not
You
mistaken.
got it.
Where's that fucking dot? Is that what I'm grabbing? Okay, that is what I'm grabbing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was right at about a 45, which would be.
There's a thing.
I gotta
There's
figure
a
out.
dimension.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what my
There's a
normal
blue
one is.
temporary dimension. When you did that, there was a blue temporary dimension that told you.
So 114, 154, if my math is correct.
135, but
It's hard because he's not.
I just added 45 to it.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, and then and you just say remove references. And what it's saying is your only choice is to remove that thing or to cancel and go back to where you started.
Okay, so I was in the right
Oh,
direction, but a
nice.
little too far. Is that 155 over here where I can just type in and change it?
Do you really want me to do your homework for you, or do you want
Go in plan
I'm
view
talking to
and
myself.
3D. Work with
Hey.
both views.
Tyler? I'm glad you joined. Stay with us, and you will be a BIM user before the fall starts. All right,
Okay.
Misty. Thanks for
Secret.
joining.
Can
I'm
I tell you
calling.
a secret real quick, Tyler? Go ahead and have that view and then a plan view side by side while you're doing all this, and it's going to be so much easier. But
I got a better one. I got the best one ever. If Misty wants to help you on your homework, do it on the Discord. We're going to end this stream here, but I would love for her to help you a little bit more on the StreamYard. That way you can help her to become a Discord. Then you can help her on the Discord. All right? I need to get something to eat. This worked out a lot better than I thought. Thank you for joining.
Of course.
Oh,
Thank you for
yeah.
having me.
Man, Tate Plumbing is going to kill you. They're going to be like, what the hell kind of rookies did we hire? And
What, this?
Dustin's worse than that, man. Dustin will tear you up running pipe like that. Hey, man, have a little bit of fun, and we'll talk 9, maybe 10 at the latest.
bye, guys.
Bye.
See you, Tyler. Thanks, buddy.
Later.